Well, well, well. So I woke up this morning and all of a sudden there is somewhat of big news out there. And it's funny because it's similar to the very thing that I suggested the Dallas Cowboys should do, or not the Dallas Cowboys, but the Arizona Cardinals should do as it applies to one Ty Simpson. And maybe what I said is starting to come to fruition. Because all of a sudden I wake up today and there are not just one trade rumor, there are two trade rumors. The rumor is that the Arizona Cardinals want to trade out of number 3. I wonder who they could be wanting to trade for. And then there are rumors that the Cleveland Browns may be wanting to trade out of the number 6 pick. Who could they be trading for? Nevertheless, I believe that equals good news for the Cowboys. I'm going to tell you today why the Cowboys, or how the Cowboys could make an extreme power move and get the player that they want in the draft. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Hey, what's going on, Cowboys fans? On what the world calls Good Friday. Hey, it's Good Friday. It's a good day every day, as long as you are in Christ Jesus. And as always, it is a great day to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm about to bring y'all the news today. Let's go. Let's get it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys and We Talk Facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? Man, we got a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Cowboy fans, I've told you before, you're going to call me a prophet before it's all said and done. Because I talked about this last week. I talked about it earlier in the week. And lo and behold, the very scenario that I'm talking about, it might actually come to fruition. Because I'm telling you, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. And this conversation is starting to gain some steam. So, these are the topics that we're going to talk about today. We're not going to be on extremely long as usual. This is what we're going to talk about. The Browns rumor. The rumor is that the Cleveland Browns are wanting to trade out of the number 6 spot. And I'm thinking that the Cowboys could very well oblige them. But not only are the Browns wanting to trade out of the number 6 spot, but the Cardinals are wanting to trade, it seems, out of the number 3 spot. And so if one of these two teams trade out of those spots, then that's going to leave the Dallas Cowboys. I told y'all before, the Cowboys have probably the best draft and trade package in the league. A 12, a 20, and we're not even going to talk about our man GP. But nevertheless, the Cowboys, they got a great trade package on offer. And so the question becomes, who could the Cowboys be trying to move up to get? Well, we're going to talk about David Bailey today. Because David Bailey may arguably be the best pass rusher in the league. Then we're going to listen to the Cowboys' new signees. And I think they got I think we may be looking at a changing of the guard here in Dallas. The way some of these players who keep coming in are talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And then today, we're not going to listen to the Brian Schottenheimer interview on DallasCowboys.com. Rather, we're going to listen to the Brian Schottenheimer interview with him and Kay Adams. I think it's probably like a shorter interview. So we're going to listen to that, and then we're going to be out of here on this Good Friday. So these are the topics. Browns rumor, Cardinals rumor, Cowboys selection, David Bailey, new signees, and Up and Adams with Shotty. Let's go, Cowboy fans. Let's get it. Hey, 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 let's go. Man, I am getting so excited about this draft. I'm telling y'all, it is going to be fireworks. Not only on day one, it is going to be fireworks on day two. Man, this is going to be a pivotal, I'm telling y'all, it is going to be a pivotal draft for the Dallas Cowboys. Man, I'm excited. I'm here for it. All right, let's get this roll call in real quick, and then we gonna get this show started. What is going on? Howdy, True Texan. What's going on, True Texan? He said, oh, if Jerry could, Jerry could if he would. I got a feeling he's gonna have the opportunity. Mose Logan, what's going on, Mose Logan? He said, what up, Cowboys Nation? Freddie Morales, El Truco in the crib. What's going on, Freddie Morales? Jeremy Betts, here we good. What's going on? 5 points on the star, what's good? Good to see you. Demetrius Noel, blessings, what's going on? Larry Stroud, God bless, what's going on? Good to see you today. It's Frank Lawrence, my man. What's going on, Frank Lawrence? Good to see you. Thomas Goldring Jr., what's going on? Good to see you. Dallas Cowboys for life in the DMV. Yo. Davion Wallace. What up? It's Jaded Justin. Yes, you're on the live stream. Let's go. My man Ron Hanna, what's going on? What's going on? Taking the lamb. What's going on with you? Mo Eddie. What up, Mo Eddie? Man, let me tell you something. I think, hey, Mo Eddie, we gonna keep praying and we gonna keep talking. Man, I think this might happen, bro. We gonna talk about it. What's going on, Chris Dunaway? Jeff Shack, what up? It's the real estate vet. What up, real estate? Big Moss Dog, what up with you? Marvin Mays, what's going on, Marvin Mays? Richard Owens, what's going on with you? Bazzy 9 in the state, what up with you? Yeah, we'll greet others as they come in, but if not, even if it's just us, we're gonna talk Cowboys tonight, and we're gonna have ourselves a good old time. Let's get this show started. Man, let me tell you something. Give yourselves a hand. Best chat on YouTube. Man, let me tell y'all something. I was just talking about this the other day. I was just talking about convincing the Arizona Cardinals or the New York Jets that if they want Ty Simpson, they don't want to give up a 2 or a 3 for a Ty Simpson. So the best thing to do if you want Ty Simpson, if you're the Jets, if you're the Arizona Cardinals, especially if you can convince the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Jets that the Pittsburgh Steelers could want Ty Simpson, well, if you're the New York Jets or the Arizona Cardinals, the best team to trade with right now is the Dallas Cowboys. You could trade the Dallas Cowboys at number 12, and you could get Ty Simpson at number 12, and you could let the Dallas Cowboys have your number 2 or your number 3, and in return, the Cowboys could get maybe even a second-round pick out of this or a third-round pick. Who knows? Or the Cowboys could just say, we'll give you a 12 and a third. Because it's them who don't want to be at number 2. Well, we know for sure it's the Arizona Cardinals, or at least what I'm hearing, they don't want to be at number 3. And it's even coming out that the Browns, they don't want to be at number 6. And why is this? They don't need a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback. And the Browns, with the draft picks that they have, if I'm not mistaken, the Browns can still get, for example, the Browns can still get wide receiver power. Let me see. Browns draft picks. Let's see what they are in 2026. The Browns currently have a plethora of picks. They have, and now think about this. They have 2 number 1s, a 2, a 3, a 4, 2 5s, a 6, and a 7. They could trade with the Cowboys and get the Cowboys number 12. And they could have 3 or well, they would have 2 first-round picks still. But if I were the Cowboys, I'd sweeten the deal. I'd throw in first-round pick from next year if I'm going to get the player that I want. And I'm going to tell you how this is all about to make sense to you as we start looking at these trade rumors. What's going on, JCT Slice, Mr. Get Dirty, Bama Boy, Davis? What's going on, Samuel Porter? I'm going to tell you how this is all going to make sense. JCT said, gee, not sure, but if we do, it'd probably be for defense. There's no doubt about it. Maybe an edge rusher after Michael Parsons trade with Dak with those wide receivers, nasty work. Yeah, I got a feeling who they are probably going to trade up for, and we're going to talk about that as we get further into this. But let's first go to the trade rumors as it pertains to the Cleveland Browns. And the more this is out there, the more talk becomes about it. So let's go over here and look at what's being talked about over here by Mike Battaglino. By Mike Battaglino over here on Browns Nation. And so what they are talking about over here, let's put a few timestamps in here if we can. Let's put a few timestamps in here. Hold on just a second. So what's being talked about over here on Browns Nation, I believe it is. Browns projected, hold on a second. Not yet. I'm not ready to become a member of the Browns Nation just yet. Not just yet. Browns projected to make a draft day trade with the Cowboys. The Cleveland Browns are likely to have several options to solve multiple glaring needs with the number 6 overall pick in the NFL in the 2026 NFL draft. However, they may not fully be sold on the value of those prospects being worthy of that selection. See, I believe this is where the Cowboys are. If all the players are gone by the time the Cowboys come up at 12, there'll be no point in drafting some of these players that'll be left at 12, because I believe the Cowboys can still get some of those players at 12. I mean, if they trade back rather than staying at 12, there's no point in reaching. It says the Browns could take a player at a position they do not seemingly need to improve, such as Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. I'm struggling with anybody getting past Jeremiah Love getting past anybody other than the Raiders with Mendoza. I'll be honest with you. If I was in this year's draft, I'm not really caring what my needs would be. Jeremiah Love is probably the best player. He's probably the best player in this draft. And if he's not the best player, he's definitely the best player offensively. If I were the Raiders and I hadn't went and got a running back last year, I would be getting Jeremiah Love. But they got the running back they got last year, so they're going to get Mendoza. I'm sorry, if I was a team in this draft, there's no way that Jeremiah Love even gets past the number 2 pick. So I could see where the Browns, if he's there, the Browns would take Jeremiah Love, even though they did get a running back last year. But you never know; they might not do it. It says this is why Tim Bilek of ClevelandBrowns.com is projecting the Browns will make a draft day trade with the Dallas Cowboys and will then target USC wide receiver Mekhi Lemon at number 12 overall. Okay, I see. That makes sense. And so it says the Browns would receive the Cowboys number 12 and number 20. The Cowboys would receive picks number 6, 70, and 146. So 6, 70, and 146. That is first. That would be the first round. That would be the third round. And then that would probably be somewhere around the 6th round, if I'm correct, right? So that would be a first, a third, and maybe a 6th. I mean, if I'm the Cowboys on this deal, I'll be honest with you. If I'm the Cowboys on this deal, I'm wheeling and dealing on this. I'm wheeling and dealing on this if I'm the Cowboys. Now, hear me out on what I'm saying. I'm thinking the Cowboys could maybe, that if the Browns were to call the Cowboys, maybe the Cowboys could get out of this without a 12 and a 20. Maybe they could give them a 12, keep the 20, get the 6th, get the 70th, and then give them the first round pick next year. Because I don't want to give up both first round picks, but I'm willing to give up that 12th. I'm willing to give up next year's. I'll give it I'll make it a second, and then pending upon what that first is going to be next year, because I believe that one of the teams the Cowboys traded with gets the lowest of whatever that first pick is next year. So if I'm the Cowboys, I would make it a 2 and pending what that number 1 will be, and I'll give them that number 1 next year. But if I'm the Cowboys, I'm wheeling and dealing with the Arizona Cardinals on this. I'm absolutely wheeling and dealing on this. The Cowboys need an elite pass rusher. The Browns could use more picks to accelerate their rebuild, in particular on the offensive line. So if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, this makes sense for them and the Cowboys. And then skipping down right here it is. Because I believe this is who the Cowboys will be targeting if they make this trade. Dallas would likely be looking to draft edge rusher David Bailey of Texas Tech or Ruben Bain. No, I think it'll be David Bailey. David Bailey jumps off the charts. He jumps off the film. The Browns are already set at that position with Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett. I believe it'll be David Bailey. I do not believe it'll be Ruben Bain Jr. I think it'll be David Bailey. He's probably the best pass rusher in the draft. And so, again, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to tell you why this makes sense. And then we're going to move on to the Arizona Cardinals. The reason why this makes sense for the Dallas Cowboys, it makes sense for Arizona. I mean, well, we'll talk about the Arizona Cardinals in a moment. But the Browns really need an offensive line. The Browns, though, they can get that offensive line without picking at number 6. They can get that offensive line. They can get some offensive weapons without picking at number 6. They want to get more players. They want to build up their offense. But it makes sense for the Cowboys. Because think about this. If you were going to give up a first and a third for Max Crosby, why not give up? No, if they were going to give up a first rounder this year, I believe, and a third rounder next year. Well, doesn't that make sense to do the same thing for Bailey? Why wouldn't it make sense? Rather than giving up that kind of draft capital for Max Crosby, who you were going to have to pay $30 million or whatever, however many million you're going to have to pay for Max Crosby, why not bring in a rookie that you're going to be able to have for the next 5 to 7 years, that you're going to own the rights to for the next 5 to 7 years? Why not? Why not bring in a David Bailey? It just makes more sense in the grand scheme of things. And even as it applies to one Myles Garrett. Because I believe the Cowboys, if they want to get Myles Garrett, that's going to take 3 first-round picks. I've already said I'd do a 26, 27, and 28. Cowboys might not be willing to do that. And I also believe the Cowboys want to hold on to one of their first-round picks because I believe even if they trade number 12, they're trading back the number 20 pick, and they're going to get Jacob Rodriguez probably somewhere around 23 or 24 or 25. If they trade the number 20, I still say they're going to trade back at number 12 if Mansour Delane is not there or somebody like that, and they'll probably get Jermod McCoy if they wanted him or some other player. They would trade back and get them at number 15. I think they're going to trade those 2 first-round picks backwards if they don't trade up in the draft anyway. So if I'm the Cowboys, if I were going to give up a first and a third for Max Crosby, why not give up a first and a third for the player that you truly want? Why not give it up for a young player in the draft? A young player, a young, healthy player. Give it up for that player. Why not? If you're willing to give up that same thing for Max Crosby, give it up for one of these guys. Because with what you already have, a David Bailey could come in here and really play well. Jeremy Ben said, what are we talking about here? Man, don't give all that up for an unknown person. It's a mistake. I'm telling you, stay at 12, trade back and recoup picks. Well, again, I say it makes sense if you don't have to give up a 12 and a 20. But if you only got to give up a 12 and maybe a third this year, or give up a 12 and give up a first rounder next year, oh, I'd be willing to do that. I'd be willing to do that, because with the Cleveland Browns, Jeremy Betts, you're actually receiving something in return. You're not just giving up. Now, I'm not giving up again. I wouldn't give up the 12 and the 20. I would give up a 12 or a 20 and maybe a first rounder next year, because I plan on being pretty good this year. So my next year draft pick going to be a late round draft pick. I plan on doing really well. So I would give up a 12 or a 20. I'm not giving up a 12 and a 20. I'd give up a 12 or a 20, and then I'd give up a first next year, and then I'm going to receive that number 6. So it's not like I gave up 2 first round picks, because I actually got a pick back. I would then get their number 70 pick, which is going to put me at another 3rd round pick. And really on day 3, really in the 3rd round on up is where you really get a lot of those blue collar players. I will take those 2, because I already got a 3rd for Oso Digizua. Now I'll get another 3rd, and then I'll get, maybe looks like more of a 7th round pick, maybe. But think about this, Jeremy Betts. So now I got 2 thirds. I got the player that I want. I got the number 20 pick still. I'm going to trade that one back. I'm going to get Jacob Rodriguez. And I might even be able to trade back, get Jacob Rodriguez, and receive another 4th. Maybe I'll get another 4th round pick this time. So I'll get a 4th round pick. I'll have 2 4ths, 2 thirds. I get Jacob Rodriguez, and I get the player that I want. How do you beat it? How do you beat it? Then I'd take that 3rd pick. I'd take one of those 3rd picks, Jeremy Betts. I'd take one of those 3rd picks. I'd go knock on the door of the Miami Dolphins, and I would say, hey, we got an extra 3rd round pick. How about you give us Jordan Brooks? Let us take Jordan Brooks off your hand. You'll take our 3rd round pick. You'll take Cleveland's 3rd round pick. You'll be picking in the 6th spot in the 3rd round. Take Cleveland's 3rd round pick, and then we're going to get us Jordan Brooks, which now we get us 1 proven player, 2 players that we know they are pretty much going to be out of sight. Because now you got 2 players that you can absolutely develop up under Christian Parker, and I think they are going to be good. I think they are going to be good. So you get you 1 proven player, 2 rookies that you have for the next 7 years, Jeremy Betts, plus you can get you plus you still got the rest of the draft to go. So I think it would be a great move for the Cowboys to do this. I absolutely do. I think it would be a great move. Oh, I don't disagree with you that Max Crosby is a known commodity, and Myles Garrett and all those things. I don't disagree with you. But I also say that if you tell me that you can get Bailey, you can get Rodriguez, and you can get Jordan Brooks, man, I might be willing to roll with that. I might be willing to roll with that. But again, these are just rumors. It's nothing to get too excited about, but it's just rumors. But what it is telling us is where there is smoke, there is fire. And if y'all haven't realized it yet, and I'm thinking that the interview I'm going to let you hear with Brian Schottenheimer, if y'all are not paying attention, I think Brian Schottenheimer is already alluding to the Cowboys may possibly trade up. I think he's already been hinting at this. We may not be paying attention, but I think Brian Schottenheimer is hinting at this. The Cowboys may have already been planning on trading those 2 first-round picks up, because I think they want to get younger. And I think they do believe, I think they absolutely believe that David Bailey, while we may be saying, you may think he's an unproven player, man, David Bailey is one of them. We're going to look at David Bailey here in a moment. Jeremy said you're still hoping and praying for a possibility you could have had anyways with your 2 picks and still got 2 more picks for quality players and still get who you wanted. Well, I think they want David Bailey, so you're not going to be able to get who you want. David Bailey ain't falling to the Cowboys. David Bailey is not falling to the Cowboys, Jeremy Betts. They got to go get David Bailey. And they can get David Bailey. They can get a David Bailey, not have to give up so much, not have to spend so much money. Still have money to do other things with. Because I still say the Cowboys should still, even if they get a David Bailey, I still think the Cowboys should also go out there and get Jordan Brooks. JCT Slice, he said David Bailey is an absolute freak off that edge. He is. He, to me, is the ideal guy to chase around 3 athletic quarterbacks in our division. Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, if healthy, and Jackson Dart. Yeah. Yeah, Christian Legal, these rumors are on both sides of this. There are rumors they are saying the Cowboys in trade talks with Cleveland to trade up in the draft, and they're also in trade talks to trade up with the Arizona Cardinals, it looks like. Demetrius Noel said, I don't see the Cowboys getting Miles or Crosby without George Pickens being included in the package. Demetrius Noel. We've been saying this for weeks, Demetrius Noel. The player that these teams want, whether we're accepting it or not, the player that these teams are wanting is George Pickens. These teams are wanting George Pickens. Now, the Arizona Cardinals, they know they're not getting George Pickens. The Cleveland Browns know they're not getting George Pickens. But the Raiders want George Pickens. And I'll tell you this, the Browns would love to have George Pickens. They would absolutely love him. They need a wide receiver too. I'll never understand. I think his name is Jerry Jeudy. Man, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. But again, now you're not getting, like I said, you're not getting Bailey unless you're gonna have to go get Bailey. You absolutely are going to have to go get Bailey. There is no way. You got to go get Bailey. And it's the same thing. And we'll talk about other players they could possibly get too. Kelly OV, what's going on? What's going on with your sister Brandy? But again, let's read the Cardinals rumor. Because the Cowboys, man, I told y'all this. The Cowboys are going to have options. I mentioned this before. This even came up. I told y'all this a few days ago. Did I not tell y'all? The Cowboys are going to have some decisions to make. Because they are going to have a plethora of options as it applies to what they do in this draft. Teams are going to be calling the Cowboys. You watch what I tell you. Before we go, I forgot. I got a couple of different videos. So as it pertains to the Browns, I want you to hear what this thing is about Myles Garrett. Let's let them talk about Myles Garrett, and then we'll look at the other thing. I think there's another player they're talking about for the Browns. So let me go back up to the Browns. Right, let me go back up to the Browns here. Let's check this out with the Browns.
Case, we can do it. I guess we can. The question is whether or not it's a mistake. I understand Tim Hasselbeck, the point that he's making. This guy is an all-time great in our uniform, and we want him to play his whole career here. There's part of me that does understand that mentality. There's another part of me that understands that if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again and hope to get different results.
Jaden, I'm doing all 3 nights of the draft. No doubt about it.
Absurd. How good he is remarkable. And you know what? It hasn't done anything in terms of the Browns having team success because they've had issues at quarterback. The guys they've invested in haven't been any good. It says they have a new coach. It's just full rebuild mode. Full rebuild mode. You need to tear it down and build it back up, which is why, Greeny, exactly what you're saying. The value you would get for a player of his caliber would help you rebuild it. So Listen, you can have the best player, defensive player in football and be a team that is, well below 500. It just doesn't add up to team success, and it doesn't make any sense.
Dan.
Cleveland, please free Myles Garrett. I wouldn't be opposed to trading for Myles Garrett. I already told you what I'd do for him. I'd give up this year's first. I'd give up 1 first from this year, 1 first for next year, 1 first for 2028 if I were the Cowboys on the Myles Garrett trade.
The Browns have been in full rebuild mode for 30 years since they moved him. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, they moved him to Baltimore, and then they gave him a new
But
team.
because they're not doing the things to rebuild.
And Jimmy Haslam has to be one of the worst out there.
I game in Foxborough this past season where Myles Garrett had 5 quarterback sacks. It was one of the most incredible performances I've ever seen. They were not competitive in the game. The Patriots beat them easy with a guy they absolutely couldn't stop. So if you're the Browns, you take a step back and you look and say, what can we get? The Raiders got 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby not long ago in a trade that never ultimately ended up happening. But if you can get that, yeah, I mean, the Browns have tons of picks, but you get picks that high, you can control a whole draft.
Yeah. Problem is for them, I don't trust Andrew Berry. I just don't trust Andrew Berry. They got a ton of picks, but I just don't know if they're going to do anything with them. They're just a poorly ran organization. I mean, wasted a 3rd-round pick on Dylan Gabriel last year and got Shador in the 5th round, spent a plethora gave Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed contract. Jimmy Haslam has the unmitigated gall to say that Deshaun Watson could possibly start this year. Start what? Start what? Start a fire? Start a fight? Deshaun Watson ain't starting for me. I don't care. After what he's done to the Cleveland Browns, I don't care how much we paying him. If I were the Cleveland Browns, I don't give a doggone. I'd cut him. Man, I'd cut him right now and give him the rest of his money. I don't give a doggone. I would be done with the Deshaun Watson era. It is the Shador Sanders era. And there's the poorly ran organization. But again, they're talking about this over in Cleveland. And they're also saying that it sounds like the Cleveland Browns are going to make a huge trade on draft night. And it sounds like it's going to be that number 6 pick. Check this out. This is 92.3 The Fan over in Cleveland. Check them out.
I don't know why it has to be one extreme or the other. And that's what I heard yesterday.
Well, it's because of this draft coming up. That's why. The very next draft, I should say. That the quarterbacks in that draft are driving that kind of thought. It's the same thing happening in the NBA right now. It's why you have 10 teams trying to lose every game. It's because being in the middle would stink if you believe any of the draft evaluation. It just sounds to me like they're hoping to trade out of 6.
Yeah.
And I think they're not alone. I think other teams are definitely trying to trade down as well.
You say that, but it's the most desperate team for a quarterback that I think that we've ever seen in NFL history. It's the most
Cleveland is not desperate for a quarterback. I believe they're going with Shador Sanders. Todd Monken has always wanted to coach Shador Sanders. They're going with Shador Sanders. There is no doubt in my mind. I don't believe Cleveland is drafting a quarterback. And that's one of the reasons why the Cleveland Browns are trying to get out of that number 6 pick. They're trying to get out of that number 6 pick because who are they going to get? They're not spending a number 6 on Ty Simpson. They're not doing it. They're not going to do it. They're going to roll with Shador Sanders, I believe. And they're going to see what Deshaun Watson is. And at the very most, he'll be a backup for the Cleveland Browns. But again, a lot of these guys are talking about it. Cleveland is trying to get out of that number 6 spot.
It just sounds to me like they're hoping to trade out of 6.
Yep.
And I think they're not alone. I think other teams are definitely trying to trade down as well.
You say that, but it's the most desperate team for a quarterback that I think that we've ever seen in NFL history.
They're not desperate anymore. They're not desperate anymore. I believe they're rolling with Shador Sanders. And they're trying to get out of that number 6 pick because obviously whoever they want, they feel like they can get that player later. They can get that player later. So they're not worried about that. They are not worried about that in the least. Kippy said, Kippy, what up, Kip? He said, how come no one's saying trade Lamb and number 20 for Garrett and keep our number 12 pick. I'm just saying. Oh, Kippy, dog. Hey, man. Kippy, don't say that, Kippy. I don't think there's no way the Cowboys would trade CeeDee Lamb, at least not this season. I don't think there's no way the Cowboys would trade CeeDee Lamb. No, I don't think they would trade him. Not at this point. Kippy said we're not one player away on defense. We need 3 more edge, linebacker, and cornerback. Now, again, Kippy, think about it. If you only trade one first-round pick, you solve the edge problem. You're going to get Jacob Rodriguez at number 20. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind the Cowboys are going to get Jacob Rodriguez at number 20. There are other cornerbacks. You might not get a Mansour Delane. You might not get a Jamad McCoy. But the more we keep looking at these pro days, there are other cornerbacks out there that the Cowboys could get in the second round, and I think they would still be good to go. So sometimes I think we get enamored with some of these top names as far as at the top of the draft. But, man, there are always players in that third, fourth round that turn out to be some great players. They turn out to be some great players in this league. Bazzy9, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Shedeur Sanders is going to be elite. Man, I'm getting ready to do I did one video on him on the channel, on the G Sports Nation channel today. But, hey, Bazzy9, man, if you hadn't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the G Sports Nation. Boy, I'm putting together a video on Shedeur Sanders. Man, if y'all have not seen Shedeur Sanders, this dude has been working out, man. This dude has transformed his body, man. Transformed his entire body composition. This dude is going to be a monster when he comes back in the 2026 season, man. And I am here for it. Huge Shedeur Sanders fan. Huge Deion Sanders fan. Demetrius Noel said, gee, what do these people have against Sanders? They haven't given him a legitimate time to come to his conclusion. The Browns are just backwards. Oh, Demetrius. Man, I'm getting ready to do a video. Man, wait till you see the video. Just go subscribe to the G Sports Nation. I'm dropping this video tomorrow. Man, this one lady over there in Cleveland, her name is Mary Kay Cabot. She can't stand Shedeur Sanders. And she hates on him every opportunity that she gets. She's been suggesting Santa Claus be the quarterback other than Shedeur Sanders. This lady, they hate Shedeur Sanders. They hate Shedeur Sanders. But it ain't going to matter because he's going to succeed. All right, now again, let's go over here and check out the Cardinals. I told y'all before, this is not just the Browns. Cowboys are also, I believe, going to have an option to trade with the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to have an option to trade with the Arizona Cardinals. This is what's being said on the Arizona Cardinals side of this thing about the trade rumors. Check this out. Says Cardinals, number 3 pick, available for trade. Cowboys in talks for Bailey. What's going on, Jack Edmonds? What's going on? Cowboys, I think they're targeting Bailey. And as a matter of fact, again, I think if you pay attention to Brian Schottenheimer has already been hinting at this. Brian Schottenheimer has already been hinting at the Cowboys trading up. Not trading backwards, trading up. I'm still like, I'll be flabbergasted if they do it. But I do think they'll do it if they don't have to give up a whole bunch. I don't think they're giving up a 12 and a 20. If somebody calls the Cowboys in the catbird seat. The Cowboys can give up a 12, give up a number 1 from next year, and the Cowboys are still in a great position to do damage in the draft. You'll get that other team's number 12. That team's either number 6 or number 3. You'll be able to get the player that you want. You'll still be able to get Jacob Rodriguez at 20. Or if you want to go corner in the first round, I think there'll be a corner still there at number 20. Jacob Rodriguez, depending upon where you are, you could possibly get Jacob Rodriguez in the third round. It all depends on what on what happens. But again, the kid out of Texas, the linebacker out of Texas, we looked at him the other day. There are going to be other options out there for the Cowboys to be able to get players. But again, today, a tweet circulated by a Twitter account of an Arizona Cardinals podcast puts the Cowboys in a light that the original source didn't actually shine. The tweet claims that Todd McShay, formerly of ESPN, said the Cardinals have had draft day trade talks with the Dallas Cowboys centered around David Bailey. But when you do the work, that's not what McShay said at all. It says, I've gotten two different, very interesting nuggets. I'm going to tell you what I've heard from two different people who normally have very good information. Number 3, Cardinals. One source is saying, I know Schefter says the clock starts on Jeremiah Love at number 5. There's someone in that building that's pushing really, really hard for Jeremiah Love. Then I've got another person like trading out of number 3 remains one of the priorities. There's a lot of buzz about Dallas. Noise about Dallas trading up from number 12 to number 3 to get Bailey. Now, again, this is what I'm telling us. If the Cowboys only have to give up a 12 and another pick next year, I mean, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? Because it sounds like, even from this report, Cowboys are not going to have to give up the 12 and the 20. The Cowboys can give up the 12. That number 12 pick is valuable. The Cowboys can give up that 12. They can go up to number 3. And I think this is probably going to be the Cowboys' move. They're not going to do a number 12 and a 20. I think what they're going to do, it's going to be that 12. I think it's going to be that 12 the Cowboys are going to try to trade. It says here, as for what it would take to make the move, Jimmy Johnson trade chart is pretty clear. Number 3 is worth 2,200 points. Dallas Cowboys first 3 picks. Number 12, 1,200. Number 28, 150. Number 92, 132 points are almost identical. So I don't think they're going to have to go and spend everything to get that number 6 or that number 3 pick from Arizona or the Browns. I think they want to get out of those picks. So because they want to get out of those picks, the Cowboys are not going to have to give up what people think they're going to have to give up. Y'all got to understand. It's not the Cowboys saying we want to come to the number 6 and the number 3 spot. It's the Arizona Cardinals and the Browns who are saying we don't want to pick at number 3 and we don't want to pick at number 6. So if they don't want to pick at number 3, then the Cowboys don't have to give up a 12 and a 20. The Cowboys can give up a 12. The Cowboys can give up a 12 and keep the 20. They don't have to give up a 12 and a 20. Now, Kippy said, if I trade up to 3, I'm getting Arvell Reese if he's there. Now, hold on. We're going to get there in just a moment. Let's listen to what they're saying over in Arizona about these trade rumors.
Judy feels very definitively.
Let's check this out. Because I really think the Arizona Cardinals is the one that has the most validity. I think it has more validity than the Browns. I really do. I think it has more validity than the Browns. Check this out.
That the Jets will not take a quarterback at 2. I would agree. The Cardinals at 3, I would say, let's just see, because we have seen far too often, we say, all right, well, this quarterback obviously is going to be taken late in 1, or he's more of a mid-round guy, and then a team falls in love with him, and they say, I don't care, I'm going to take him. Would it be a surprise if someone like Ty Simpson goes at 3? It would be a surprise. I would be surprised by that, but I wouldn't be stunned, because we've seen it before. We've seen guys like Mitchell Trubisky go 2 when a lot of us thought he was more of a late-round guy. Blake Bortles, same thing. Certainly could happen again. I would say more likely, though, the Cardinals are probably saying, all right, we saw what the Giants did last year with Jackson Dart. They were able to come back in the first round. You got to give up resources, yes. They're able to come back in the first round and get someone who they believe is a quarterback of the future. That's excellent value. Interesting thing for the Cardinals, though, you have several quarterback-needy teams, Judy, like, I don't know, let's say the Pittsburgh Steelers, who may need a quarterback of the future, whether or not they get Aaron Rodgers. So would the Cardinals have to come all the way up over, early 20s? We'll see, but there's still a lot of intrigue with the quarterbacks, even though there's only one high-end guy.
Now, this is why I say the Arizona Cardinals has more validity. The Arizona Cardinals don't want to be at 3. They don't want to be at 3. The Arizona Cardinals, it's what I've been hoping for. I believe they want Ty Simpson. But they don't want to give up a 3 for Ty Simpson. They want that pay scale to go down on Ty Simpson. So they would rather trade back to number 12. I think it's the sweet spot for the Arizona Cardinals. Go to number 12, and you can get Ty Simpson. Not only could they get Ty Simpson at 12, the Arizona Cardinals could take the Cowboys 12, trade the Cowboys 12 back to 15, and they can still get Ty Simpson. The only team you got to worry about with Ty Simpson is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just get in front of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you can get Ty Simpson. But that Cowboys 12th pick is the sweet spot. Get at that number 12 pick. I don't think the Cowboys are going to have to give up a 12 and a 20. I think the Cowboys could just give up a 12. Just give up a 12. You just basically swap spots. You just get a 12, they get a 3. Maybe y'all swap late round picks somewhere else. But you're not going to have to give up a 12 and a 20. I think that's very clear. And the reason why that works is because it's the Arizona Cardinals that want to do this. You're not going to have to give up as much. If you were the one saying, I want to go up and get Bailey. Nah, you're not the one that's doing it. So this is a win-win for the Cowboys. It seems like the Browns and the Cardinals both want to get out of those spots. Now, let's get to the interesting part of the conversation. Let's get to the interesting part of the conversation. The interesting part of the conversation is even though today we're going to feature David Bailey, but let's go a little bit further on this. For all of y'all out there, Frank Lawrence, I already know Frank Lawrence. Frank Lawrence, he wants Jeremiah Love. Man, let me read what Derek Posey just said earlier. Boy, Derek Posey said give up a 12 and Terrence Aluminum. Boy, you crazy. You couldn't be talking about Terrence Steele, huh? You renamed him Terrence Aluminum. Boy, you crazy. Boy, you are absolutely crazy. But again, David Everett. So let's go to the Cowboys selection. Because, like I said, even though we're talking about David Bailey, doesn't mean the Cowboys have to get David Bailey. Let's go over here and look at the top part of this draft. And hey, let me tell y'all something. I really think the Cardinals has a lot more validity, as I said earlier. Man, let me tell you something. You trade up to that number 3 spot. You mess around and you're the Cowboys. And you mess around and trade up to that number 3 spot. Cowboys fans. Boy, you can get anybody you want to almost. If the Cowboys get that number 3 spot, man, it'll be Christmas up in here, man. You can choose between Love, Styles, David Bailey, Reuben Bain Jr., Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs. Man, you got a buffet, bro. Who do you get if you got that number 3 spot? Who do you get? Christian Legal said Sonny Styles. What's going on, Stephen White? Who do you get? I mean, you move up to that number 3. Who do you get? I mean, yeah, David Bailey will be sitting right there. But David Bailey isn't the only one that'll be sitting there. I'm just telling you, Frank Lawrence. Frank Lawrence, you put me in that number 3 spot, I'm sweating bullets. I'm sweating bullets in that number 3 spot. because Jeremiah Love was in that number 3 spot. I'm sweating. Man, I'm sweating bullets. I'm at the number 3 spot, and Jeremiah Love, I'm sweating bullets, man. I'm sweating bullets. Appreciate you, Jack Edmonds. Appreciate you. Jack Edmonds, you get at that number 3 spot. Who you get at that number 3 spot, Jacob? Jack Edmonds? Who you get at that number 3 spot? Man, I'm sweating bullets right now. Man, if I'm at that number 3 spot, I'm sweating bullets. No, hey, Newhouse, I'm sweating bullets at number 3, man. I'm sweating bullets. Ronnie Pierre, he said he getting Caleb Downs. Kippy said he getting Styles or Reese. I'm sweating bullets at number 3. And you telling me Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, David Bailey, Ruben Bay Jr., Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs, boy, they all on the board? Boy, I'm sweating bullets, man. I'm sweating bullets. I'm sweating bullets. Demetrius Noel said, can we trade Stephen Jones or demote him? Oh, that's going to take you about 10 first-round draft picks. That's going to take you about 10 first-round picks. Wisington, he said only David Bailey at number 3. And I think that's who the Cowboys are targeting. I really do think that's who they're targeting. Ron Hanna, boy, man, the 3rd pick would start a war against Cowboys fans. Boy, you not lying, boy. Man, not only would it start a war against with Cowboys fans, it would start a war in the Cowboys war room. Man, you got number 3, Styles, Bailey, Bain Jr., Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs. And I'm going to tell you the one that would really have me sweating. Jeremiah Love. I'm sweating. I'm sorry. They'd probably have to fight me, boy. Woo! Because at that number 3 spot, boy, I'd have a hard time. I'd have a hard time not taking Love. I'd have a hard time, man. I'd have a hard time. I'm sorry. I had to pause life for a moment on that one. I mean, I gotta, like right now, even the possibility of Jeremiah Love being there, man, I need from now until the first night of the draft to even discuss if Jeremiah Love is on the board, because he gonna change my whole draft up. Jack Edmonds said he would take Sonny Styles. Yeah, said he'd take Sonny Styles. Yeah, you said the safety from Toledo has depth. The Cowboys are going to have options, Bama boy. There's no doubt about it. Jeff Shack said he taking Styles too. Stephen White said in this order, Love. Well, wait a minute. He said, I don't know. He said Love, Reese, Bailey, Styles, or short arms. Boy, he said short arms. Q-Town, he said at 3, I wouldn't be disappointed with whoever they pick. Man, at 3? Boy, ooh, I'm sweating bullets. I'm sweating bullets, man. I'm serious. I'm sweating bullets at number 3. Sebastian said I would trade both first-round picks and a third-round pick for Arvell Reese only. Hey, yeah. To get Arvell Reese, you definitely gonna have to do that. Because Aaron Glenn definitely got his eyes, I believe, on Arvell Reese. Christian Legal said, why would you go after Love when you still have Blue and Maffa? Hey, man, Jeremiah Love is a generational talent. He's generational. You can't even put them in the same category. I mean, Christian Legal. I mean, you get a Jeremiah Love, man, you talking like that's an Emmitt Smith. I mean, that's an Emmitt Smith, Zeke in his prime type move. Man, that's a serious move right there, man. That's a serious move, boy. Oh, that's tough. Shoot, Freddie Morales said, have you seen Love run? I mean, man, you talking about a guy like that could bring you to the Super Bowl. And then you got Javonte Williams to go along with him. Oh, my gosh. Whew. Boy, you got a backfield out of this world. Because I'm telling you right now, of all the positions in football, there is no position in football that translates quicker than the running back position. Because it is the one position that you just go in and do what you've done your whole life. Run. Run. Because most of the great running backs have instinct. Run. I mean, they know 3, 4, 5 hole. I mean, they know where they're running. Run. A gap, B gap, C gaps. They know. Run. Instinct takes over. Make a guy miss, hit the hole, and then boom, you off to the races. Running backs translate so quickly. Ryan Heaney, man, let me tell you something. Boy, man, who's better, Elliott or Love? I think Love. I mean, and that ain't saying nothing bad about Zeke. Man, Love got a different gear. Love got a different gear. And again, man, when you think about, how did it work out with Zeke? Now, the Cowboys made a mistake with Zeke, Ryan. The Cowboys made a mistake with Zeke and Dak. When the Cowboys lucked up on Dak and purposely drafted Zeke, they should have went all in 2017. The Cowboys should have did everything they could do. If you got as far as they got in 2016, they should have went out in 2017 and went bonkers. Absolutely went bonkers in putting players around Dak and Zeke. And they failed to do that. That was on them. They failed to do that. And then, of course, Zeke, the thing that plagued Zeke liked the party, man. Yeah, Zeke liked the party. Now, Jeremiah Love. I didn't say that Jeremiah Love, Ryan. I didn't say Jeremiah Love was Emmitt Smith. What I said is Jeremiah Love is an Emmitt Smith type move because he is that good of a running back. Now, we can't compare Jeremiah Love to the greatest running back to ever play arguably the greatest running back to ever play the game. But there is no argument. Jeremiah Love is an Emmitt Smith type of draft pick. Jeremiah Love is a special running back. That dude generational. And if you can't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. Jeremiah Love is generational. Absolutely generational type of running back. And I also think he got a lot more love for the game than Ezekiel Elliott had. The problem with Ezekiel Elliott was he liked to party. Zeke got to the league and kept on partying. But if you listen to Jeremiah Love is a nerd. And that's exactly what you want. He's a nerd. He loves football. Watches anime. Goes home after the games. No, he's a generational player. He's a generational player. Well, I'll tell you this, Ryan. This is the last thing I'll say about it. If you telling me that Javonte Williams, with the way that he ran, Javonte Williams is more of a power runner. He's not going to run out. He's not going to hardly run away from you. He's going to run over you. If you're telling me that Javonte Williams could be the number 3 rusher with this offensive line, I'm telling you that Jeremiah Love will come to the Dallas Cowboys and he will be the number 1 running back in the league. Hands down. He better than Javonte Williams. Stop it. I ain't even listening to you on that. I'm not even listening to you. There's not a team in the NFL, if you put Jeremiah Love right now, Jeremiah Love, Javonte Williams side by side, I bet you there's not one team in the NFL that would take Javonte Williams over Jeremiah Love. Man, stop it. Jeremiah Love is a generational talent. He's a generational talent. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Javonte Williams ain't close to Jeremiah Love. And that ain't saying nothing bad about Javonte Williams. He just not generational. Now, Jeremiah Love is generational. He is absolutely a generational running back. That's crazy. Jeremiah Love is better than Reggie Bush was, too. Definitely better than Reggie Bush. Yeah, Reggie Bush was an outside runner. Speed coming into the NFL, why he struggled when he was the first, second, third seasons. This dude is a straight line runner with power and speed and hella transition. Yeah, Jeremiah Love's generational. Shoot, man. Nah. Reggie Bush ain't in the same category. Ezekiel Elliott, I say he's better than Ezekiel Elliott. There is no doubt about it. Hey, now Derrick Rose. Hey, Derrick Rose. That's hold on a second now. That's hold on. Adrian Peterson was generational too. And I think Jeremiah Love is generational. But man, boy, had Adrian Peterson ever played on a good team, he'd have won multiple Super Bowls. Adrian Peterson was made in a factory somewhere, man. He from out there near where I'm from, out there in Palestine. Man, Adrian Peterson was one of them, boy. Boy. Adrian Peterson is one of them. But again, that's just me. That's just me and Frank Lawrence. Maybe we would be sweating bullets at number 3. But the Cowboys don't have to settle on number 3. Settle on Jeremiah Love. Cowboys would have an opportunity to get Sonny Styles. They would have an opportunity to get David Bailey. They would have an opportunity to get Reuben Payne Jr., Mansour Delane. You get at that number 3 spot, you get to take your pick. Big Rombowski. Jalen Tolbert was a generational talent. Problem is, generational is relative when it comes to him. Now again, hey, Christian Legal, you talking, I love what you're saying. Man, you're talking about guys like Kevin Falk. Hey, generational. I'm putting him in those kind of categories college-wise. But again, shoot, man, Jeremiah Love, man, ain't nobody taking. Jeremiah Love is crazy, bro. I'm telling you now, if the Raiders hadn't already got their running back last year, they would be getting him. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Jeremiah Love, though, he won't make it past Tennessee. He won't make it past Tennessee. Cam Ward needs a running back bad. The running back they got from us, he's good. He's good, but he's not Jeremiah Love. The New York Giants, some people have even said that, the New York Giants could possibly get Jeremiah Love if he makes it past the Tennessee Titans. I think he can make it past the Cleveland Browns. The problem is he won't make it past this minefield. Washington, Saints, Chiefs, Bengals. He won't make it past those 4 teams. Yeah, man, Marshall Faulk crazy. Washington. There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. But again, the beauty of getting at number 3, it's not just Jeremiah Love. The beauty of getting at number 3, you got so many options. You're not getting Orville Reese, but you have so many options after Orville Reese. Man. So, I saw something crazy today. I don't even want to imagine it. I even saw today where somebody said the Cowboys could go up to 3 and get Francis Mauigoa. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. But if the Cowboys get to number 3, Love, if you say you don't want Love, Styles, Bailey, Payne Jr., Delane, Caleb Downs, they will all be there for the taking. I love it. I think the number 3 spot has a lot of validity to it. The Arizona Cardinals, I think what the Arizona Cardinals want, they want Ty Simpson. They just don't want to use a number 3 pick on Ty Simpson. So what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to go backwards and get Ty Simpson. I think that's what they're wanting. So the Cowboys are going to be a prime candidate. And so the Cowboys move up to that number 3 spot. They're going to have some options. And if they're wanting defense, take your pick. Take your pick. Sonny Styles could be the nickelback the Cowboys are looking for. He's already alluded to He wants to play that kind of position in the pros. You got David Bailey. I got a feeling the Cowboys may be looking at David Bailey. You got an opportunity to get David Bailey. I believe with some of the developments that are coming out of some of these pro days and the way some of these players are performing, I believe the Cowboys believe they could probably get them a cornerback. They could probably get them a cornerback in the third round. I really believe they believe they can get that if they were to trade up that number 12. Because you're not trading 12 to number 3 to get Mansour Delane. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. You go to number 3, it's going to be Love, Styles, Bailey, Bain Jr., Delane. But I do think they're targeting David Bailey. I do. I think they're targeting David Bailey. I think you can do that, KLOV. You can make a pick and then swap the player. I don't think there's anything that you can that anybody could do to stop you. I think you can do it. Demetrius Noel, the truth about our defense is settled and well recorded, and the only places to go is up. Yeah. Man, Demetrius, I really think the Cowboys feel like they're in a comfortable place with their defense. Christian Legal said, gee, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys went to 3. They go, man, hey, Christian Legal, I'm telling you, I heard somebody say that they would have got the Maui Goa guy, man. And I said, please don't do it. Don't do it. Kimmy said, gee, you're right. On which part? Hey, Kip, I'm telling you, the Cowboys have got a lot of options at number 3, and I really think this Arizona thing has a lot of validity to it. But again, I really think the player the Cowboys are targeting, and Haney, this will bring you some solace. But I do think the player that they are targeting is David Bailey. I think the player they're targeting is David Bailey. I really do. Frank Lawrence said the Cowboys have never hired top guns for coaching staff since Jimmy Johnson, with the exception of Parcells' short stint. And Frank Lawrence, if you think about it, the Cowboys have kind of hired what they probably believe to be top gun coaches, especially when you're talking about Jordan, the pass rush specialist, and when you're talking about Christian Parker. They got a really good defensive staff this year. Man, I was saying it last year. I was questioning that thing they had last year. 70s Fan Show, I can't remember the last time the Cowboys traded up. 70s Fan Show, I was thinking the same thing. But the only way they do it, and this is why I said what I said in the beginning, they'll do it if they don't have to give up much. I believe they do it if they don't have to give up much. I don't believe the Cowboys are going to give up a 12 and a 20 for nothing. I don't. I don't even think they'll give up a 12 and a 20 for a Myles Garrett trade. I don't think they'll do it. The Cowboys want to be in the first round. They're not giving up 2 first-round picks. Lorenzo said, might be surprised, G. They might take Tate. Boy, oof. I ain't ruling it out, but I think a wide receiver, that's too high for a wide receiver. They're not going to take a wide receiver. They might take Tate and then offer Cleveland Pickens, number 20 and 2027 first round for Myles Garrett. Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. Especially when you could just go to number 12 and don't even mistake what I'm saying. David Bailey isn't in the category with Myles Garrett at this point in time. We don't know what he's going to be per se. He's not in that category. But I think if the Cowboys move up, they're moving up for a reason. They're not moving up. They're going to move up to get a player. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to move up to get a player. Demetrius Noel, I absolutely agree with you. The most improved position on the Cowboys so far is the coaching staff. It is. It absolutely is. All right. So let's move over here to this David Bailey thing. This dude, David Bailey, I think this is who they're going for. I absolutely think they're going for David Bailey. And if you have not seen David Bailey, man, David Bailey is another one of these guys, man. Man, things that make you go, things that make you go, This dude, David Bailey, shoot. I don't know if y'all are not college football. Now, I know it's Texas Tech, but I'm just telling you. I just said it, Rumbowski. I said, I know it's Texas Tech, Rumbowski said yes because those Texas Tech Red Raiders defensive standouts have incredible highlights against the UCF Knights, the Cincinnati Bearcats, the Kansas City Jayhawks, and against Oregon. He said, nah, man, I think this is I think this may be the guy they're looking at, man. Because I tell you this, man, David Bailey, Rumbowski, a lot of people got him as the top pass rusher in this thing. Check him out. This is David Bailey. A lot of people like David Bailey.
He is sacked by the best in the biz.
They like this dude, man. A lot of people like him. Yeah. Rumbowski, who is that team looking like the Houston Oilers right there? Who is that team? Hey, man. Hey, man. Lot of folks talking about this dude Bailey. Oh, no. No, don't say it, Kippy. Kip, don't say it. Kip, don't say it. Kippy said Bailey may be another Taco Charlton. Don't say it. Don't say it. I'm just telling you, man, a lot of people are high on Bailey. A lot of people. I got another little
2-minute drill. Bailey is coming off a monster season for Texas Tech, on the podium for pretty much every pass rushing stat and metric among P4 teams. Bailey accomplishes this with his speed off the line and developed set of moves. Those who do are defeated by a variety of other moves. Bailey's favorite is the spin move, as many tackles overset to try to compensate for his speed and leave their inside wide open. He has good bend around the corner as well. He converts speed to power, but his game in the NFL will be centered around his speed. The only thing that does get Bailey in trouble is when he lets tackles get hands on him and overwhelm him. It's not only that he loses the rep, but semi-regularly he ends up with his butt on the ground. Bailey's game falls apart in the running game. As an undersized edge, he gets bullied quite often. Bailey also struggles a bit with missing tackles. Texas Tech protected him a lot on obvious rundowns by taking him off the field and letting him focus on rushing. Bailey does have his moments on outside runs and making run stops where he's able to use his agility to make plays, but I'm not confident in his ability to set an NFL edge. For a pro comp, David Bailey reminds me of Chop Robinson. Bailey and Robinson share that speed and first step to threaten offensive tackles and can center their entire game off that. However, both were negative in the run games, and Robinson still struggles in that picks of the draft. And that's the 2-minute drill.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that news. I saw that. He said Chop Rob. He said Chop Robinson. I'm like, who the heck is Chop Robinson, man? I'm sorry, I don't even know Chop Robinson. But there have been other people talking about they gotta be saying Chop Robinson. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. That tape reminded me of Micah Parsons. The spin move, it reminded me of Micah Parsons. I'm not comparing him to Micah Parsons saying he's going to be Micah Parsons. But that move, it looked like Micah Parsons. And for all intents and purposes, if you got Bailey, at least listening to what this guy is saying, and we're going to listen to what they're going to say on NFL NBC, if you get Bailey, you're basically getting Bailey as a pass rusher only, pretty much. Robowski said he's not sure who that baby blue team was. So many schools wear the retro units now. Yeah, hey, Kippy. Hey, you just typed it in. Our one-trick pony is in Green Bay. Why get another? I'm serious when I'm looking. I'm like, this reminds me of Bailey. And again, Keith Washington said we don't need anybody on this team that can't set the edge, because that was the exact question that Newhouse had. Can he set an NFL edge? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's check out. Hey, Davion Wallace said, give me Bane, G. Give me Bane. Yeah. Give me Bane. What up, Poobie D? Ron Hanna said, man, G, I just said that it's similar to Michael just on how he rushes. Man, Ron Hanna, call me crazy. Me and you in the same boat. As I'm watching that spin move, I was like, that's Michael Parsons. So, let's go, Newhouse fam. He said, if I move up to the pick number 3, I'm taking Ruben Bain over Bailey. Yeah. Bain over Bailey. All right, let's check this out. Let's check out what they're saying about him over here on NFL NBC. They're pretty. I haven't even heard the interview.
Let me ask you like this, David Bailey.
So let's hear what they say about it.
Is edge 4 for you from
Yeah.
Texas Tech?
Yeah.
But edge 4 in this class, still a top 10 pick in your eyes?
Yes, I wrote.
Right.
I wrote 5 through 15. I mean, I know. I mean, I'm realistic to know too, and I don't sit here and go, what I say is set in stone. I mean, I know other people might go, oh no, I kind of like what David Bailey does better than Messidor or Bain or whatever. It's one of those years. But regardless, yes, he is a guy that is in that range. Now, I will say when I got done watching, I went, I don't know if I feel like he's a top 5 talent. All right? That's something I wrote at the end of my and to me, because I kind of put top 5 in its own category at a time.
Like
you know
a
what I mean?
special.
It's like usually like you're a unicorn.
Yeah.
You're a unicorn. And I guess I just was like, I heard a lot of the hype. I didn't really get to study Texas Tech during the college football year. We never had a game that involved them. So I watched them off, through TV, and I guess maybe I was expecting maybe a little bit more. But realistically, this is still like an awesome football player. Another guy, twitchy as hell, has some of the attributes you talk about with Arvell Reese coming off the edge, the quickness, the explosion. He's got quick feet. I mean, you could see the way he moves. It's really twitchy that way. So, I love all that. I mean, that's incredible. He can win just by being quick or being able to cut on a dime, right? He can kind of take off upfield like we talked about, like Arvell or a receiver. He takes off upfield and he can put his foot in the ground and kind of do a shake and get the guy, leaning one way, and he gets to the quarterback. And to me, that's like something that goes overlooked, I think, even in the NFL too much, is the ability to kind of win with quicks and get people leaning one way to then go to power or get him leaning and then just beat him around the edge. But yeah, I love that about David Bailey. Now, bend-wise.
He's not the bendiest guy.
It's not the bendiest guy, right?
It's a little upright.
It's a little upright.
Yeah. Now, he has an interesting build.
Yeah.
Because, it's a lot of muscle.
Now, I was noticing that too when the guy in the last film said that, where he said that David Bailey had some bend, and then he barely bent. So I didn't see that bend. I really didn't. And so I think this is a little bit more accurate. He doesn't quite have the bend, or at least on that few plays that I've seen.
He's got a good NFL body.
Yes.
I mean, 251 pounds, almost 34-inch arms.
The arms are great. I doubt he was 251 during the year. I felt like
245.
Legs are a little more thin than the other guys too, which I put some stock into.
He also, the uniform aesthetic is very different.
Totally.
Well, you can see it right here. He does the high cut pants.
High cut pants, no wristbands.
The cyclist pants.
And the jersey's kind of hanging out over it, so he does not look like your normal defense end on the film.
It looks like it takes him 23 seconds to get dressed for the game.
Yeah. He doesn't
there's
care.
no accessories. He's got the small. He.
Yeah, the more I hear him talk, this is sounding like more of a Micah Parsons type of player. Ron Hanna, you ask a very good question. Love is generational. I believe he is too. Who is generational on defense? I would say for me, I'm thinking that there are probably about, what do you think, 2 generational players on defense? There are probably 2 generational players on defense. One of them we're not going to be able to get. Orville Reese. He's probably a generational player. The other one is borderline Sonny Styles. And if he's not a borderline player, he's definitely, if he's not a generational player, he's definitely a generational athlete. Sonny Styles is absolutely crazy. And if they were to put him at that nickelback, Sonny Styles, he might win Defensive Rookie of the Year, with the way that Christian Parker may try to implement him into his game plan. But Love is the best offensive player, hands down, in this draft. He is a generational player. But as far as on defense, the only one I could probably think of is Orville Reese and Sonny Styles. But y'all tell me. Newhouse fam said nobody in this draft. Bama Boy said he should be available at 20. He probably should be, but he won't be. Newhouse said he not taking Sonny Styles at number 3. See Matt. He said just re-sign Clowney and get an edge next year and get Downs and Rodriguez, Bullard, Clowney, Gary, Houston, easy. That's good for a season. Rombowski said for his size, it's his speed that has made Michael elite. Tough offensive tackles to get their hands on with your top speed. If Bailey struggles with offensive tackles getting their hands on him, now it'll be more tough in the NFL. Yeah, again, hey, speed kills. It does. Start guarding exit. If you move up to 3, could you pass on Love, or will there be a fight in the war room? Oh, that's what I was saying earlier. It's going to be a fight in the war room, man. Because it can be argued, unfortunately, and I understand what Haney was saying earlier. I understand what he was saying. Cowboys already have a running back. I understand what he's saying. The problem is with Jeremiah Love is the problem that we're actually discussing. What Ron Hanna said and what I said. The problem with this draft is Jeremiah Love may be the best player in the draft. Can anybody name a player better than Jeremiah Love in the draft? Mendoza may be the best quarterback. Mendoza is not the best talent in the draft. Mendoza, he's not generational. The best player, and this is the problem with this draft, the best player in the draft is really Jeremiah Love. So if you're up there in the top 5 picks, and you don't need a running back, you're going to pass on the best player in the draft because you don't need a running back. Jeremiah Love is the best player. He's the best player in the draft, if you ask me. He's the best player in the draft. I don't know. Y'all tell me. He's the best player in the draft, pound for pound. Jeremiah Love. He's the best player in the draft. Problem is, if you don't need him, you're not going to get him. Poopa D said, gee, I'm only trading up for Styles if we do it, but I'd rather keep both picks. Brandon said, I'm taking Styles at 3. Yeah, I think Styles, if I had to pick another generational player, if Sonny Styles isn't a generational player, he's definitely a generational athlete. He's definitely a generational athlete. There's no doubt about it. Newhouse said he not drafting him at number 3 no matter what. Jeremy Best said to be transparent in the 34 front front defense, smaller, more explosive players could work because of the one-on-one matchups that will be created with the three big down guys in William Clark and Obunyan. Jeremy Betts, let me add to what you're saying. This is why the Cowboys were looking at Nakobe Dean, because he was successful. He was successful in that Philadelphia scheme. He absolutely was successful. So again, he's probably more of a Nakobe Dean type player. David Everett said, if I'm the Jets, I'm taking Love at 2, then trading with the Cowboys at 12 to be sure I get Ty Simpson. Oh, yeah, that makes sense too. David Everett, I'm just saying, I agree with, I like what you just said. I don't see how any team other than the Raiders pass up Jeremiah Love. He's the best player in the draft. Why would you not draft the best player in the draft if you're up next? I'm drafting the best player in the draft. And I'm like you, if I were the Jets, but the Jets, I forgot the running back. They put him on a franchise tag, so they're probably not going to do that. Let's Go Chief said he's not drafting Styles over Bain. Okay. Jersey Boy TV, he said you can't forget about Jordan, he's going to make him elite. Yeah. Jordan is going to be our secret weapon. Yeah, Davion Wallace, he said no other generational players other than Styles, Love, or Downs. I mean, that's kind of where I am. It's not that many generational up there. That's the problem. Demetrius Noel, he said, wow, you're taking Simpson over Mendoza every day. Wow, okay. And the problem is, Demetrius, this is another bad draft for quarterbacks. It's another bad draft for quarterbacks, straight up. 72 Chevelle said, I'm not trading up if Falk or Howell there. Take one of them at linebacker. Well, I'll be honest with you, linebacker, I'd be satisfied with Jacob Rodriguez. Man, Jacob Rodriguez can play, man. Frank Lawrence said Jeremiah Love will be an instant star and will be a centerpiece of the offense to 2030 and beyond. Many of these defensive players are 50% odds against an NFL starter. Again, the one position that translates better than all of them is running back. It's running back. Rombowski said, thank you. I've never understood why the New York Jets are paying franchise tag footsies with Breece Hall when you can simply let him walk, draft Love, and save yourself a lot of money in the process. Rombowski, I'm dumbfounded. Aaron Glenn won't last. Man, I give him one more season. Aaron Glenn is running around talking about that Geno Smith is going to take the Jets to the promised land. Bro, he won't last one more season. He won't last one more season with that kind of talk, Rombowski. And I'm like you, why in the world would you put Breece Hall on a franchise tag? You can get Jeremiah Love. Man, stop it. It doesn't even make sense. But again, they're saying this is who the Cowboys may be targeting. It's David Bailey. I like a lot of the comments y'all are making. I like a lot of those comments. This is one of the reasons why I say the Cowboys need to do more before the draft. They really do need to do more before the draft. Go get Jordan Brooks. Keep improving your defense. And I'll say it. I said it once. I'll say it again. If you can't draft defense well, trade for it. Duh. The Cowboys, if you don't draft defense well, trade for defense well. Think about the best defensive players on this team. How did we get them? Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. We traded for them. Simple. Yeah, Newhouse fam said go watch Love film. Patient, allows his blocks to develop. Good vision, speed, ball. Hey, man, he's generational. And he can block. Yeah, he's generational. Yeah, that 70s fan show, that's what Frank Lawrence, that's the point Frank Lawrence been making. Teams that pass on Jeremiah Love is like passing on Randy Moss. I agree with you. Man, I agree with you. But again, man, I say if you can't draft defense, trade for it. Just trade for it. Go get Jordan Brooks. Do more before the draft so that the draft doesn't put you in a headlock. Don't get put in a headlock in the draft by saying, man, we gotta draft for need. Keep working the trade market. Go out, and I think one of the issues is going on with Jordan Brooks. I think Miami is maybe trying to wait until draft night 2 to see if the Cowboys will get a little bit desperate. Everybody knows the Cowboys need a linebacker. It's not rocket science. Everybody know the Cowboys need another linebacker. So the Dolphins, they're out there like a shark in the water rather than a dolphin. And they're just like, okay, let's see. Let's see if the Cowboys get desperate. Yeah, problem with Overshown, though, Gary Book Walter, welcome to the congregation today. Good to see you. Problem with Overshown is he can't stay healthy. We gotta get Overshown to be healthy for an entire season. And we gotta get him to be healthy for an entire season before we can really start really crediting Overshown for what he can be. Because I believe he's gonna be great. But man, he gotta stay healthy, man. Gronkowski said he can see the Titans fumbling the number 4 pick and then see Love putting on blue and red New York Giants cap. Man, I'm hearing the Giants want him, especially with the way the New York Giants GM shown no fans haven't forgotten about Saquon Barkley. Yep. Frank Lawrence. Yep. I'm telling you, Jeremiah Love. I mean, just the issue with Jeremiah Love. I mean, he's the best player in the draft offensively, but again, if you don't need a running back, you're probably going to have to pass on it. And this is why it's bad for teams to be drafting, trying to draft for need rather than drafting for the best player in the draft. Because again, Gronkowski and whoever else that was made that great point. What in the world are the Jets doing? You're paying Breece Hall a franchise tag when you can absolutely get Jeremiah Love, man. I'm telling y'all right now, Aaron Glenn ain't gonna last another season. He can coach defense. He can coach defense, but decision making, man. And I guess he's making some of the decisions because, man, this dude here, Aaron Glenn ain't gonna last at the rate he's going. But again, man, I want y'all to hear these Cowboys players, these new Cowboy players, these Cowboys have signed. And it's making me realize something about players that keep coming in from the outside talking about the Cowboys. I think there are people outside of the Cowboys, players that are outside of the Cowboys. They look at the Cowboys and they say, the Cowboys got some players that don't seem to really want to play. Or maybe they're getting too caught up in the spotlight. Because when you listen to what these players say, man, it's kind of it's really revealing. Jeremy Betts said, I think they need to bring Jadeveon Clowney back. I do too. Betts, I don't understand not bringing back Jadeveon Clowney. It don't make sense to me. He can play 3-4 defense. He can absolutely play it. I think he could absolutely be productive and it would keep from being desperate too. Man, I absolutely believe he can play 3-4. I absolutely believe he can play 3-4. Ron Hanna, I'd already heard talk about the Giants wanting Jeremiah Love because now they're starting to figure out that Scatty Bo got a scatty brain. He got a scatterbrain. Yeah, I've already, Scatty Bo be one of them dudes, or whatever his name is, Scatty Boo. It would be better if he just didn't talk. Because he just says a lot of dumb stuff. And then he got that Achilles. Man. Yeah, Jeremiah Love, I would not be surprised if he goes to the Giants. I would not be surprised. All right, let's go over to DallasCowboys.com real quick. Again, these players, man, the way they're talking about, and even though they're not saying the Dallas Cowboy players' names, they're still saying things that are kind of alarming because it's like they're speaking to players that have been here in the past and some players that may be even here in the present. Check this out as you listen to these guys talk. All right, let's pull this up. This is Jonathan Bullard.
Well, the Cowboys have added a new addition to their defensive line room. Jonathan Bullard, first, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. How you feeling so far?
Thank you. I'm excited.
We're excited to have you. I want to get started with, obviously I read the story of you losing your late grandmother, Joyce Robbs. She passed in 2012. She was a Cowboys fan, so it obviously means a little bit more you being a Dallas Cowboy. How would you describe what this opportunity means for you?
Kind of a dream come true. I grew up, my whole family basically was Cowboys fans. My grandma was huge. That's where it started, obviously. My mom, everybody. But to be here and put a star on my helmet just means a little more knowing what she did for me So I'm excited about it.
When you look at what the new pieces, the new defensive coordinator and Christian Parker, and what Dallas is trying to do with this defense, what made this situation the best fit for you at this stage of your career?
I think the defense that they're trying to bring in is what I've done for the last 10 years. Come in, be a big end, be a presence on rundowns, and make it tough for them to run the ball and try to get the running defense going. So when I had the opportunity to come here, it just fit.
I felt like that was one I was going to lead to, is you've been in a lot of 3-4 systems, 3-4 schemes before. Excuse me, sorry. But talk about, what you feel like you add best and value best at this point in your career.
Well, I just think the smarts of the game, understanding what we're going to get and being able to communicate down the line with the guys, which the guys that's already there is older vets too, like Kenny and those guys. So I think just us being able to communicate, I think when you get older and you get that experience, the game slows down, so it helps you recognize blockings and the run plays that you're going to get, so it helps all of us to be able to communicate. So, and then I'm going to bring the toughness and the physicality for sure.
What has Christian Parker kind of showed you what the vision is for you? Have you had those conversations with him just yet?
No, I haven't gotten to the whole vision thing with him yet. I'm supposed to go meet with him soon after this, actually. But I do know it's like a big end position, which I've did the last basically 10 years, I would say. So I'm confident in what I can do at that position.
What are you excited to most now being a Dallas Cowboy? What are you looking forward to most?
Just the fans. My whole city is Cowboy fans too, so that's been crazy ever since the news came out. And just being able to go out and put my stamp on this season.
We're looking forward for you to put your stamp on this season. Best of luck to you and congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Great addition for the Dallas Cowboys. He's gonna come right in, knows the system. He gonna fit right in. He's gonna fit right in with the Cowboys. All right, Derion Kendrick. He's the one that I'm talking about. Watch this.
What's up, Cowboys Nation? I'm Nick Eatman here with the newest Cowboys cornerback, Derion Kendrick. Just signed this week. How excited are you to be here with the Cowboys?
I can't explain it for real. I kind of started out like this, you know what I'm saying? So life coming in full circle. Grew up playing for, you know what I'm saying, my city team, Rocky Cowboys. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's like a dream come true for real.
So as in Little League, when you're with the Cowboys, is that the goal one day to play, obviously play in the NFL, but play for the Cowboys? Cowboys are always that team that I guess that everyone looks at.
Yeah, America's team, and like, you know what I'm saying, growing up, my aunt, like, she was forcing it on me, you know what I'm saying? So that's Cowboys till I really, you know what I'm saying, watch football on my own. But life is just coming in full circle on this, you know what I'm saying? God's timing for real.
So what type of cornerback are the Cowboys getting here? How can you kind of describe your game?
A smart, feisty, physical, and ball-aware corner, for sure.
Now, there's a knock on corners that, maybe they don't have the best hands. You're a receiver, actually. You started your career as a receiver, so you feel like when the ball's in the air, it's just as much yours.
It's mine, for sure.
You played with the Rams. You played with the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
They have some really good receivers over there. So practices are probably just as tough as some games going up against Puka and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Devontae Adams. Here you got some pretty good receivers to go up and practice as well. Is it one of those iron sharpens iron type things?
Yeah, that's how you got to look at it as, for real. Another day of work, you know what I'm saying? Just going there. I know what I got. You know what I'm saying? I played against GP in college. Well, played with him, played against him. Great guy. You know what I'm saying? Loves to compete, and I do too. So it's gonna be some great practices out there to where we're just getting each other better for those Sundays.
Obviously, this defense needs some improvement. It's been well documented. Christian Parker is the new defensive coordinator. What have you heard about what are some of the changes the Cowboys defense is going to make this year?
Need more people that, you know what I'm saying, that buy in and not really, you know what I'm saying, has too much ego, you know what I'm saying, and just want to play.
Now, I want you to think about what he just said. Derion Kendrick just got here, and he's already talking about egos of players here. There is a consensus around this league. Excuse me. There's a consensus around this league. And I think this is why teams really look at us like we're not really a tough team. And so I'm really hoping as we go forward that our defense gets a lot tougher. And, you know, last year they talked about being physical. They couldn't maintain it. Can we be consistently physical? But I want us to understand that when you talk about being physical, that's not just a physical thing. Being a tough team isn't just a physical thing. Being a tough team is a mental thing. And so it's like, man, you hear people say this stuff all the time. Like, yeah, guys that buy in. Who are they talking about? Well, they're definitely talking about some of these past players. And it's like these guys are coming here like, man, we are we here because we want to be here. And we want to change the direction of the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, this is powerful, man. I mean, this is a message being sent across the bow, man. This team is, need more dogs. Bottom line. And I like the fact that these guys who have come in, Jalen Thompson thinks he's a dog. Kobe Durant thinks he's a dog. PJ Locke thinks he's a dog. This guy thinks he's a dog. Man, you want players like that. They think they are bona fide dogs. And when you look at the play that some of them have had on the field, it translates. I think this guy right here has a very good chance, though, of being really good for the Cowboys. We're going to see. I think he has a very good chance of being good for the Cowboys. I think he really fits some of the things that they are looking for. And so, again, I mean, when you hear somebody come in saying this, Tatiana, what's going on? I mean, when you hear somebody just walk through the door saying this, I mean, Bama boy, G said, G, wonder who has the egos. Do you know? Inquiry buys water know. I mean, dude just walked through the door. I mean, just walked through the door saying this, man. Yeah, Jerry Bear said he said that towards somebody that's here, not here anymore. All of them say, I mean, they just walked through the door saying this stuff, man. Rob Bowser said, well, watching these videos, seeing the Cowboys headquarters in the background, fancy offices, locker room, weight room, etc. Then if I showed up to work, that'd probably grow a huge ego too. Boy, you crazy. Boy, you crazy, boy. Hey, Rob Bowski, hey, it's hard. Hey, Rob Bowski, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm a very humble preacher. But Rob Bowski, I'm telling you now, bro. I've turned down some big congregations. But I'm telling you, hey, man, when you walk in them big buildings and a whole bunch of people, man, hey, Rombowski, you got to get your mind right, man. You got to get your mind right, man. You get on them big stages, you got to be the right kind of person to play on them big stages. Everybody not built for those big stages. Because, man, I'm going to tell you something about Michael Parsons. I just didn't hear this stuff about Michael Parsons before he got to Dallas. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But I didn't hear anybody talk. I didn't even hear about Michael Parsons being a social media person, outspoken, or any of those things. Maybe he was. But the big stage in Dallas, if you're not built of the right things, man, the stage in Dallas will bring the wrong thing out of you, man. I have a saying, man, in the ministry, the bigger the circus, the bigger the clown. Hard. Chanel, what up, Chanel? Good to see you. Ron Hannibal, well, he better put his play where his mouth is. He's talking like that. Haven't even played it down yet. I know. Hey, but Ron Hannibal, what I can say is, yeah, he can play. He can play. He got some dog in him. Jeremy Best got to find guys that want to come to work and focused on being and getting better and want to play disciplined team ball. What's needed here rather than a bunch of entitled players. Yeah, man. Let's go cheap. I did a video on him. Let me bring it up since we're here. Poobie D, hey. Poobie D, let me tell you what happened. You said Michael performed on that stage, though. And Poobie D, I think it wasn't the stage that brought it out of Micah. It was his performance, and then it was the cheers. It was the adoration of the performance. And that's what got Micah mind. I think that started messing with Micah, and then Micah got and became something that I don't think anybody thought that he was. I mean, again, yeah, he's a great player, but it was the non-player stuff that started really just outweighing some of the things he was doing on the field. Newhouse fam said he so he talking like he Champ Bailey. Boy, he said he talking like he Champ Bailey. Real estate vet, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, this dude looks pretty small. But hey, guys, let me cue y'all in on something. Any of y'all ever seen Christian Parker? I'm asking a rhetorical question. Have any of y'all seen Christian Parker? I'm sure that you have. Christian Parker is a smaller guy. And in his eyes, he's one of these guys, I'm sure, that because he himself is a smaller guy, he doesn't look at smaller guys as I wouldn't take a smaller guy. His thing is, if a smaller guy can play, then I'll take that smaller guy, because as a smaller guy, he has a chip on his shoulder. Man, some of them smaller dudes be having chips on their shoulders, man. I'm just telling you. And they are a handful to deal with, too. They are an absolute a handful to deal with. I did a video on Derion Kendrick. But Derion Kendrick can play. There's no doubt about it. Derion Kendrick can play. All right, let's cover this last topic real quick. Just kind of come full circle. A couple of days ago, Brian Schottenheimer did an interview on Up and Adams. And if you listen to Brian Schottenheimer on Up and Adams, you'll realize that this thing that we talked about tonight with the draft, I think he's been hinting at this all along. He's absolutely been hinting at this. Let me see if I can see, where is it at? Yeah, Brian Schottenheimer has already been hinting at this.
Not a bad intro to head coach.
We just didn't realize it, but he's already been hinting at it. Check him out. Yeah, Ron Pierre, no doubt about it. Ronnie Pierre. Jordan Lewis comes to mind. And again, Christian Parker's a smaller dude. Christian Parker don't mind getting smaller dudes, because Nakobe Dean is not a big guy. But Nakobe Dean had a chip on his shoulder. He can play the game. All right, let's check him out.
Of the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer. I was not watching the play. I was watching.
Bass, you remember back in the day, LL Cool J was the first one I used to hear say, you know what I'm saying, about 15 times in a 15-second conversation. Yeah, Derion Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's check out Brian Schottenheimer.
Watching you watch the play. Break down what you were seeing, what was going through your head.
Our guys having fun. You know, I mean, that's what we're all about. Energy, juice. The Dak run, that's unusual. You know, he's probably watching this. You used to be really athletic, bro. I mean, we're losing a step or two, but basically the guy's having fun.
Nothing like a little pre-OTA motivation from your coach, Dak. You got to prove him wrong throughout OTAs and camp and training camp, and we have the draft and so many fun things. But you mentioned fun. Are these is the annual league meeting fun? Can you take the viewer into a little of what this is like for a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
It is fun. If I look a little tired today, it's because we had our Cowboys dinner last night. We also had the head coach's pool session where we just sit around and we have some cocktails and we talk and we share. And we say it this way, like, not everybody gets our life. And if you don't understand what we do, I can't talk to my neighbor that's a lawyer and be like, hey, help me with my situation. So you mentioned Clint Kubiak. Like, I was like, Clint, how was you last year, bud?
Yeah, the
like,
rookie.
yeah, like Mike McDonald. I saw him at the first meeting. We're like, dude, smile. Like, he can smile, bro. But like, it's fun.
Chanel,
It really
yes,
is.
sir.
And
You know what I'm saying?
What's so
Yes,
special about
sir.
our business, Kay, is the people. And so to be around the people, all the people that make this NFL thing go is incredible.
Take me into the pool party. Let's get to there's a Cowboys question I have about last night's activities as well. But in the what's the dynamic? Is everybody, is there a certain division that does not hang out? Like, is the NFC North split on others opposite sides of the pool, or is it everybody?
Good question.
I know it is.
No, it's awesome. I mean, there's tables. We just kind of mingle, and I get a chance to catch up with guys maybe I don't know very well, and as we get going, it gets a little bit louder. It gets a little bit more fun.
What up, Marcus
But again,
Newsom?
I say it all the time. It's like, it's why we do what we do. Because there's going to be ups and downs and adversities and highs and lows, and these guys understand that. And as the drinks get flowing, we tell some really good stories.
The players are doing what they're doing to prepare to also maintain the highs and lows and stay stable. As a sort of like a front office, an ownership group, your guys, your staff, this dinner last night, how important really is that? I know it's like a lot of pomp, a lot of circumstance, a lot of lobster, I'm sure, caviar, but what do those moments mean to you guys when you guys have these moments of camaraderie in the off season?
This time of year, everyone's competing. Everyone's excited about the upcoming draft and the process and all that. But it's a chance to unwind, take a deep breath. It's the families. It's my wife, my son, they were there. The entire Jones family was there. And it's a chance to just kind of be thankful for how blessed we are to be in this position. And growing up in a football family, with my dad, we used to do that. I mean, I was coming to league meetings. I think I've been here before, probably when I was 12, 14 years old. And, the family, the Joneses, the organization, you pinch yourself sometimes.
Did you talk business at all at this dinner last night?
We always talk business.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
we
that
always
true?
talk business. We have
Is there a
fun and
toast
we
to
talk
George
business.
Pickens?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. We always toast GP.
Listen,
yeah, we always toast GP for sure.
Your offense was so electric, so fun to watch. So many.
Chanel, my son is 5'8", and I'm telling you right now, he does have a Napoleon complex. Boy, that man, my son, man, now he talking about he about to be a bodybuilder. He been lifting weights for about the last 6 months, man. He done got yoked up now, and man, ultra competitive, man, ultra competitive. He's the shortest of my sons, but he's the best athlete of the four.
Highlights to show when you show up to work. I mean, by the way, the wide receiver duos that you've been, I guess, blessed to be a part of in your amazing tenured career. I would love to know, like, when you show up to work at the Cowboys facility, walk into the Star, and if you were to go into that wide receiver room, can you paint me the picture of that dynamic between CD, George, the rest of the guys?
Playful.
I see you run by.
Emotional in a great way. I tell you what, the best thing about those two guys is the way they hang out. Like, literally, I was trying to track them down the other day, and they were both together. They were on a beach somewhere doing something, and it started immediately. Like, I think the first person GP met in the building after I beat him in basketball. I have a basketball hoop in my office. I beat him in basketball. He'll hate that. That's okay.
Sorry,
yeah, he'll
buddy.
hate that.
I don't know. Are you sure? Tell me a little bit more about that.
So 3 shots each. I think I made 2. He made 2. We went to sudden death, and I won. And we're going to leave it there because he can't talk about
These
it right
guys
now.
are going to get in the
he
lab.
can't talk about it right now.
Get in the lab.
But one of the first people he saw was CD. And it was really cool because it immediately took off. And they push each other. And there's a play I'll go back to in the OTAs where CD was on the backside in the boundary. GP ran a little sluggo seam, and Dak threw a touchdown. And CD was on the backside, and he literally, when he saw GP catch a touchdown, he threw his hands up like, "Thank you, I'm getting help," And so they're the best.
It's not always that way. It's beautiful. Did you know right away that it would work? I guess like there was no work that had to be done in that.
Hey, Rumbowski, could you imagine being Jalen Tolbert? Could you imagine being Jalen Tolbert and George Pickens catches a pass and says thank you, and then Brad Schottenheimer in this conversation just said that CeeDee Lamb was saying thank you because he finally had help, and you've been on the team for what, the last 3 years? Boy, you want to talk about shots being fired, man. Boy, you want to talk about shots being fired. Man, I couldn't imagine. I mean, football is a very competitive sport. Man, I couldn't imagine being on a team, man. And, and they're saying, yeah, man, you're a wide receiver on the team. You got aspirations that you're about to be one of the best wide receivers in the game. And you hearing all these conversations, not just in your own building, but you're hearing conversations out there in the media. Yeah, man, the team needs another wide receiver. They need a wide receiver too. And you out there like, I thought I was supposed to be the wide receiver too. I'm good enough. Boy, I just couldn't imagine that, man. Boy, that's got to be some painful stuff, man. Boy, that's got to be painful, man. I mean, I'm supposed to be that wide receiver too, and you talk about you need a wide receiver too. Boy, that's got to be pain. That's got to be painful, man. The pain must be unbearable, boy. I mean, could you imagine being a wide receiver and they say, man, we got to go get George Pickens because our second wide receiver ain't good enough? Can you imagine being that wide receiver, man? Boy, that's tough, bro. Boy, that's painful to me, man. Boy, you ain't lying, Tatiana. You ain't lying. Imagine being Jonathan Mingo. Yeah, we need a third wide receiver. You ain't even a third wide receiver. Boy, that's got to be some tough stuff right there, boy. You on the team, boy, you trying to make it. You talking, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And then they go, hey, we got to get another wide receiver, boy. That's got to hurt your heart right there, man. That's got to hurt your heart right now. Shoot, I bet you right now, I bet you Joe Milton been crying ever since they got Sam Howell. How much y'all bet? They been crying ever since they got Sam Howell, man. The Cowboys went from Joe Milton pushing Dak Prescott to Sam Howell about to push Joe Milton out the doggone door. Come on, man. Pain, man, the pain. The pain, man. I'm just telling you, it's the pain. Just painful, man.
The minute that they started the relationship from the beginning, I knew it'd work.
Yeah, let me go back to it. Let me do this. New House fam said Mingo and Paris Campbell clean your lockers. Hey, man. And also, too, y'all see Jalen Cropper out there, man? Man, Jalen Cropper gonna be back on somebody's team the way he doing out there in that that whatever it is, the UFL, USFL. That boy out there doing his thing, man. Jeremy Betts. No, Demetrius Noel. Demetrius, this started last year. Hey, Brian Schottenheimer like that scheme too. Don't get it twisted. Shotty talked way more than I can remember Mike McCarthy talking last year. And he gonna be talking even more this year. But again, understand something too. Brian Schottenheimer like to talk. So he's gonna really be doing a lot of talking out there. Rabowski said, if an NFL owner and head coach candidate tell me they love caviar, I'm tearing up their resume and moving on to the candidate that loves hot dogs and nachos. Well, that's the candidate they picked, man. It was Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy told a story about eating them nachos out there, man. Boy, that's crazy, boy. Rabowski out here trolling on that boy Tolbert. He says because the team knew they could never come up to the level of greatness that belongs to the one and only Jalen Tolbert. Shoot, pain, boy. Bad said, Mingo, just empty your locker, dog. Hey, man, they stripped him of his roster bonus and it wasn't even $1 million. Frank Lawrence said, Jerry keeping his cards close to the vest. I'm going to tell y'all right now, Jerry loves running backs. Jerry loves running backs. He does. Real estate vet, I do believe they're going to, I think there's a good chance they're going to get Bobby Wagner. I do. Tatiana said Milton biting his nails. Yeah, Milton went from taking Dak Prescott's spot to all of a sudden he finna get his spot taken. Chanel said G. Tobin's main problem was consistency. Exactly. That's it. He could never have back-to-back weeks of good catches. Exactly. Man have a catch like he had in Green Bay, and then he couldn't back it up. Or against Green Bay. Jeremiah said what it is what it ain't, G. Them two different things, a whole nother level. Tobin wasn't that. Reality and truth hurts more than a punch to the face. Proof in the pudding, get your game up. Pain. pain, Jeremy Betts, boy. It's painful, boy. Even if you're telling the truth, it's painful. Bam, boy, so Cowboys don't have the rights to Cropper. I'm not sure. But I can tell you this. Shoot, if they don't, somebody going to get Cropper. Shoot, Cropper out there making the UFL look crazy out there, man. Chanel said, I want Shotty talking. I don't want Shotty talking. I want Shotty in the lab. Yeah, coming up with more complex offensive schemes. Yeah, man. I'm with you.
With GP, how do you get the best out of him? Like, it feels like he had such a, stunning year. He's got all the talent, but he felt so at home. We wish him only good things. How do you coach him? What's your coaching style with GP?
Let GP be GP. He loves football. He loves football. And honestly,
to walk into that receiver room as well, 30 touchdown passes, 4th in the NFL, 2nd most in his career last year. He's coming off a career year. In 30 years, look at these guys that you've had hang out with. Brett Favre, Drew Brees, Andrew Luck, Phillip Rivers, Russell Wilson, Carson Palmer in college. When you think about Dak, when you're talking to Dak, watching his tape, which quarterback pops into your head the most?
Well, I think I was
Derrick
fortunate
Rose.
enough to coach all.
That's what they said last year. That's what they said last year. Oh, yeah, boy. Ooh, don't get hurt. And I said it last year, Derrick Rose. There is no way that Joe Milton was threatening Drake May and Mike Vrabel wouldn't have kept him. There's no way. There is no way. I said it last year. I said it did. Sub-Zero, he said, Jerry's never been this quiet. He said, I know that Jerry wasn't here when the Cowboys jumped to get Dorsett. Just saying. Yeah, man. I feel you. Yep. I'm just telling us, man, I think they're already preparing us. I really do. I think they're preparing us for some of this stuff.
All those guys, they're all amazing. They're all different.
It's a great list.
I pull different things from different guys to this day. But, Drew Brees was one of the first guys I coached. He and I became very close. We're godparents, my wife and I, to their middle son, Bowen. And I've always said, man, Drew Brees is one of the greatest leaders I've ever been around. And then I met Dak. And they're on the same level. And I think that's a compliment to both guys. But all those guys, Andrew Luck was amazing to be around. There's other guys on there that are deserving to be on that list, but for different reasons. Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford was maybe the most pure, maybe the most pure passer I've ever been around. So how blessed am I to have that list of guys that I've done this with?
Bowen, by the way, taller than me now. I saw him last week. I'm like, that's not okay. Drew Brees'
weird.
kids used to be.
It's weird.
What's happening,
It's
right? We're talking
weird.
about all the lore over all these years that
It don't take much to
to
be taller than Kay Adams, in case y'all don't know.
Yeah, he's a baller.
They all are, and his daughter, of course. Did it change? Like you and Dak, it's not like you guys just knew each other last year. You'd been there a while. Did it change to becoming the play caller? How does that change your relationship with a quarterback?
I think it helped being around Dak. Think of this. I'm sitting in the building as a consultant. One of the first people that came in when the players came back was Dak. Just wanted to say hello. Was excited I was there, and I ended up doing more things on defense. With DQ and just kind of hanging out with the defensive side of the ball. But
Bass said the fans catch a pass from Milton before he.
Let Russ cook. Let GP. It feels pretty simple. What is the challenge in that when you are running a team like that?
I think it comes down to the fact that you're influenced by the people that you've come up under. I've been around some coaches that all they ever were was in one situation, one organization, so they knew one way. They were great coaches, but they almost tried to become that coach, and the players smell that a mile away. And so the one thing my dad always told me, he said, Brian, if you ever get your shot, which I think you will, he said, always be yourself. And so I get choked up talking about him, as you know, and I'm doing that.
It's absolutely. We want the football life of Brian Schottenheimer. We want it to end, or at least the middle chapter, be a ring. Of course, I don't know that anybody wants it or deserves it more than you with everything that.
I do believe Brian Schottenheimer is going to get a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. I absolutely believe it. I believe Brian Schottenheimer is going to get a Super Bowl with the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott's going to be the quarterback. And it's going to be one of the greatest stories of the NFL over the last few years. The son of the son of Schottenheimer, who won the most. I think he's got the most games won without ever winning a Super Bowl. I believe Brian Schottenheimer. It's going to be a great story because Schotty's going to get that Super Bowl, and of course, I mean, everybody's going to lose their minds when Dak Prescott gets a Super Bowl. I mean, 10 years in the league, the adversity that he's overcome. I mean, it's going to be incredible when they get a Super Bowl together. I mean, I really believe they are queuing up one of the greatest stories we've seen over the last few years as it applies to the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys.
You've just been around and the meaning of football in your life, which, by the way, if you want to interrupt me and break the Pickens extension news, we have champagne on ice waiting for you over here. I'll ask
we
you
got to
this.
find him because he's on a beach somewhere with CD. Yeah,
I know you can't talk about, or it's not appropriate to talk about any of that, the extension, all of that. What's the Cowboys offense? The Cowboys offense without George Pickens is
not as good.
Not as good. That's not bad.
How was that? That was pretty good. That's pretty authentic, right?
I mean, if I'm just being honest, I'm feeling pretty confident after this conversation that you are a fan of him. You're talking to him. He's on the beach. If I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm thinking this was going to get done, which I'd be excited about. Any response to that?
We expect GP to be a Cowboy for a long time.
And I love to hear that. Do you and Jerry text about this kind of stuff? What's the dynamic there?
No,
Or
a lot of
Steven?
conversations.
Yeah.
Now, Tatiana, you make a good comment. I've said this before. How do we know people don't want GP? I think there are a lot of people that want GP. What people don't understand, and I don't understand how you cannot convey this to people. Historically, teams don't give up 2 first-round picks for wide receivers. Historically. The Cowboys did it once. They're one of very few teams that have actually done this. 2 first-rounders for a wide receiver? This isn't a George Pickens thing. This is a historical thing. Man, nobody's giving up hardly. Right now, the Patriots, they need a wide receiver bad. The Patriots are trying to get this deal done with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I saw it leaked out today. The Patriots don't even want to give up a first-round pick for A.J. Brown, let alone 2 first-round picks? I think where they're going to try to settle is a first and a third. 2 first-round picks for a wide receiver is a lot. That's a lot for a wide receiver. And we're acting like, oh, yeah, nobody wants George Pickens because if he would have been, he gave up 2 first-round picks. Who? What team is giving up 2 first-round picks for any wide receiver? Now, in hindsight, if you would have asked teams, hey, would you give up 2 first-round picks for Jerry Rice? Yes. Would you give up 2 first-round picks for Randy Moss? Yes. Would you give up 2 first-round picks for Michael Irvin? Yes. I mean, yeah, in hindsight. But in the present, man, you never gonna find a team other than the crazy Dallas Cowboys that gave up 2 first-round picks for doggone Joey Galloway on the back end of his career. And ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. It ain't the fact that Pickens ain't good. Ain't nobody doing it. Shoot. What are we talking about? You're exactly right, Bass. No team is giving 2 first-round picks. The Patriots won't even give it for AJ. They're haggling with a first-round pick for AJ Brown. Man, ain't nobody giving them those 2 first-round picks for no wide receiver. Man, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Let him go out there and get on the market and say 2 first-round picks. I promise you, nobody's giving up 2 first-round picks for Njigba, Puka Nacua, Justin Jefferson, or Jamar Chase. Nobody. We try to act like this is a George Pickens thing. Man, this is crazy work.
A lot of conversations.
No emojis, no rocket emojis.
Depends.
Or
yeah, not a lot of emojis. Yeah,
no?
definitely no.
Jerry's not an emoji guy?
No, not really. But I will say this: the best thing that I think we have going for us right now in the organization is our ability to communicate. You know, we just, like I said, it goes back to real conversations.
Candor, it sounds like. Transparency?
100%.
Yeah,
and that's the only way to do it. Like, you know, in any relationship, how are you going to be successful in that relationship if you don't have trust and hard conversations and candor?
I don't know that every team or organization or family or relationship works that way, but it's certainly working for you guys. I'm looking at these, the duos you've coached at wide receiver. Antonio Gates, Keenan McCardell with the Chargers, Braylon Edwards, Antonio Holmes. DK and Lockett is a little wild.
They were great.
Is this the best wide receiver duo? of your
You're
tenure?
exactly right,
Tough one.
B17.
I'm gonna, of
That's
course,
NBA
say
trade
yes.
talk,
I mean, I'm
bro.
gonna-
Straight up.
But again, here's the deal. Like, DK and Tyler
Straight
were
up.
great, right? Gatesy and Keenan were great. But you know, they're very different. Like, I'll say this, DK and Tyler complement each other really well because DK was size and speed, and Tyler was just, you know, a feel for the game and instincts and really speed and amazing on scramble plays and stuff like that. But how fast it happened for these two guys, of course, talking about CD and George, like you spoke about, that was unique, I think.
Yeah, I love it. You came out here, there was nobody out here. You grabbed a plate of breakfast, a little OJ, you sat down, just a head coach and his thoughts. Were any of the thoughts about the defense going through your mind? I think maybe fans would like to hear about the focus, as granular as you will allow.
Yeah, I think yes, always thinking about the team. I think it goes back to this. The starting point for us, getting Christian Parker.
Yeah, I agree with you again on that too, Rombowski. Yeah, I believe the Raiders would have took them first-round picks from the Baltimore Ravens and came right to the Cowboys. Would have came right to the Cowboys and got him. I absolutely believe it.
Incredible coach. I gave him a hard time. He's 34 years old. He's never been a coordinator. Right when we hired him, I said, hey, man, why you been slacking? I was 32 when I got my first job. But the staff we put together. Kay, it's so cool for me to watch our players come up when they're in there lifting, whatever, getting rehab, and they won't leave his office.
Really?
They literally will not leave CP's office. They come up there, they're just hanging out, they're just talking life, and he's into shoes. He's got like 350 pairs of shoes. He's got watches that I probably can't afford. His style,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, his style is just different. And so I think I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about what we did in free agency. You know, we filled a lot of holes. We got Rashawn Gary into trade. You know, we really wanted to secure the secondary, so we got.
I mean, when you really step back and when you look at this list they got up on the board right now, I mean, when you really kind of step back and look at this, I mean, this looks really, really good. I mean, the Cowboys might really need to start thinking about, man, if you can't if you can't draft them, trade for them. I mean, I'm serious. If you can't trade for them, I mean, if you can't draft them, trade for them. I mean, these 5 players, I mean, they're pretty much better than most things the Cowboys have drafted for. I mean, this is a pretty good list of players the Cowboys got right here. And so I just think by default they're going to be better, but I do think the best acquisition they made, and you can tell by the way he's talking, is Christian Parker, and the other one was B.T. Jordan, the pass rush specialist. I mean, that was a great pick for the Cowboys.
Some really good safeties, some really good corners. And we want to go into the draft with the 2 first-round picks, drafting pure. And I think we're going to be able to do that.
See how smart we are that we had questions about Christian Parker?
Oh, look at you guys.
Well, I don't know much
and
about
I see
him.
Quentin Williams' name. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah,
Look,
he's
because I
pretty
think
good
that
player,
there is.
Now, Brian Schottenheimer, a lot of people have been questioning this whole thing about drafting pure. I'm still struggling with the drafting pure part, because if you're drafting pure, you're really going in for the best player available. Cowboys actually still can't necessarily draft pure. The Cowboys are probably going to go in drafting defense. I really do. I really think they're going to be drafting defense. The only way they draft offense, and I'm telling you right now, and it won't be Cornell Tate. The only way they'll draft offense is that Jeremiah Love, by some stroke of luck, would be there. I don't think he's going to be there.
You have made big additions on defense, and now we're just sort of shoring it up.
and going back to last year, I mean, the trade for Quinton was huge for us, and again, he's going to be a huge part of our defense.
Don't forget Kenny Clark.
Do
you want me to read? You want me to read it?
I mean, inside linebacker. Yeah. Well, if I can get a little granular before I let you go.
Of course.
Bobby Wagner. I'm just doing anything so he doesn't hang it up. I'm not ready for that. I know there's a divisional aspect to it. You of course have reverence for everybody in the division and him. Have there been any? What conversations have you had about Bobby Wagner?
Well, I will say this. Number one, we've made some really strong runs at inside linebackers. It hasn't worked out. You're looking at one of the biggest Bobby Wagner fans in the world. Being in Seattle with him for 3 years and watching him compete and just talk trash in a good way. I love that guy, and he's still playing at a high level. So we'll see how everything works out. It's an exciting time of year, but Bobby Wagner, total stud.
And I love the candor yesterday. You're saying everything's open. Everything's ahead of us. You're not closing any doors. You're open for business. We love that, Coach. Thank you for stopping by, making your debut on Up and Adams. And we'll have to fact check and source that basketball nugget. I'm going to have to check that. We'll be back
Please
after
do.
this.
Yeah, Bass, you said we've added 5 players. I said we need 8 guys. We'll probably have more than that after the draft with all the kids coming from college. Now, Bass, I think we're going to get one more player, and I think that player is going to be Jordan Brooks. I do believe they're going to get one more player. So it's going to be 6 guys. I think they're gunning for Jordan Brooks. And again, if they get Jordan Brooks, it won't surprise me if they get Jordan Brooks and trade up. Because if they get Jordan Brooks, they'll probably look at Jordan Brooks as filling another need. So I won't be surprised if they trade up if they get Jordan Brooks. Because Jordan Brooks really helps you in this draft to say, now we can really go and make some moves. We can either trade back or we can trade up. And we can get another player that we may want to develop and turn that player into a playmaker. So I'm not going to be surprised. Bass said, pray we get Brooks, not Wagner. I'm praying too. Yeah, it's not that I don't like Bobby Wagner, but don't go get Bobby Wagner. Cowboys are always going to get somebody when they're at the back end of the 9. No, I don't want no player on the back 9. I want a player on the front 9. Let's go get Brooks. Give away, trade a 3rd, go get Brooks. You won't get a linebacker in the 2nd or the 3rd better than Brooks. And I'll be honest with you, man, shoot, Brooks is probably worth the 1st round pick. Brooks has been that productive. Yeah, I am, Brandon Mack. Hey, I ain't going to even lie to you. Brandon Mack. Brooks has been that productive. He really has. He's been that productive. He's probably worth the 1st, but if you can get him for a 3rd, oh, man, go get him. Oh, you know what, Chanel? I do think they'll find a gem in undrafted players. The Cowboys always seem to have a way of doing that. So I do think they'll do that. Ron Henderson said, I believe if they don't get Brooks, they'll go after Wagner. Yeah, I do too. I think they're going to get Wagner. But again, Cowboy fans, appreciate y'all rocking with me. We're going to be scouring the internet and finding more and more stuff. Hey, the closer we get to this draft, the more stuff you're going to keep hearing. But out of the Browns and the Cardinals, I believe that Arizona Cardinals rumor got some legs to it. The Cowboys, uncharacteristically, because I'm like y'all, I can't remember the last time the Cowboys have actually moved up in the draft. I got a feeling they're going to move up in the draft, especially if they get Brooks. I believe they're moving up. Because Brooks will satisfy another need. And the Cowboys, I believe, want that cornerback and they want that edge rusher. If they get Brooks, I believe they'll trade up and they'll get that cornerback and that edge rusher. I believe they will. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight on this Good Friday. It's always a good day as long as you are in Christ Jesus and as long as you are a Cowboys fan. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.